Hello, 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 what's up? And welcome back to The Imperfect Millennial. Wanted to start off this video with a massive thank you to everyone who liked, shared, and gave feedback on my last video. It truly does mean a lot to me. To reiterate, I'm making these videos to not only hopefully improve maybe someone else's life that is a younger leader, maybe even older leader, but specifically to also help myself. These are traditionally ideas or learnings that I've learned firsthand and would like to share with y'all. So, what's the title of this video? Gender equality, specifically in the workplace. Specifically, male versus female. Now, some of you might completely understand where I'm coming from this situation. Some of you may not agree with me, or some of you might have the same interaction that I had or same experience that I had around this topic. Let me share you a story. If you would have asked a year ago, hey Blake, what's your opinion around gender equality in the workplace? Do you feel that females are equivalent to males? My answer would have been, absolutely. Who cares if they're a woman or a male, gay, straight, transgender, gender fluid, color, wherever they're from, their background, how they grew up, I don't care. I judge someone off of their character, off of their work ethic, their values, and that's how I expect to be judged in return. But that's where I would be wrong. I'm going to talk about three very specific topics to kind of shine some light on why I'm wrong on that situation, and talk about how I am personally changing that in my day-to-day, possibly even shed some light into you to where you can continue to help and change that from your day-to-day. Number one is pay. 2 days ago, Business Insider, we've all heard of them, released an article talking about last year's pay in the US between male and female. A full-time female makes 80.7 cents to every full-time male in the workforce. So you might ask, well, Blake, how do we repair that? Or what? Right? Maybe that's the first time you've heard that. Maybe you think that's kind of an older thought process. I think that's okay. You just got to move forward from it. Because I thought the same thing. I thought in the past that was an old way of thinking, and that's where we have to move forward. So there's two very specific behaviors and mentalities that we can discuss today that I think might help shed some light on how do we improve that. The first one is going to be duties. So think about, we'll call them chores, we'll call them activities, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. It changes in every environment, right? But if I had a group of people I was leading, and it was a good mixture of male and female, and I had some tasks to complete, I need to be conscious of what tasks I give to each person. For example, what's the first gender that pops up in your mind when you think of administrative work, customer service, cleaning, organization? Is it fair to say that first thing that popped in your brain was a woman? Now let me flip the quota there for a little bit. If I asked someone, to go build something, like assemble a piece of furniture or assemble a cabinet of some sort. Right? I ask someone to lift something heavy or go sell something, or even better, manage something. What's the first thing that pops in your brain? A male. And that's where it starts. Now, I want to pretext that every single person is different, whether they're male or female. I can tell you how many times I meet a female that their strongest suit is definitely not organizing, it's definitely not cleaning, it's definitely not administrative work. They don't have organizational skills. But I'll tell you, they can sell, right? They can build, right? And in the reverse, can't tell you how many times I've met a man that no way can they lift something heavy or put together a piece of furniture, right, that a stereotypical male should be able to do, right? And that's okay. That's why I say, when you have a task, know specifically that person and why they're good at that job. Don't just rely because she's a female, she'll be great at organizing this area up and making sure that everything works accordingly, right? And because you have a task where you need to move a lot of stuff, don't just assume the guy's going to do it, right? That's where it starts. The second idea, which this one I had a little bit of a personal run-in with, is accountability. So this is where I want to start with this one. In the past, it's very, very easy to have a transparent conversation, specifically around accountability, to a male. You could term it blunt. You can say, fierce, right? You can even add in the fact that there's usually some aggressive emotions towards a male conversation. But just like the male, the female deserves that same level of accountability conversation, that transparency. If a female messes up at something, it's not okay to beat around the bush. Because a typical conversation with a woman, specifically around some feedback, can be sensitive, emotional. Use the term beating around the bush. It's absolutely not fair. With both genders, one should know that first and foremost, you need to build that relationship, because no one will accept transparent feedback if there is no relationship built first. But even then, you cannot assume that they can't handle that transparent feedback. Let me say it this way. Everybody deserves it, and that's how they get better. That's how I've gotten better. That's how people around me have gotten better. So because that's only fair, right? Now, let's kind of take a step back, right? And what kind of thrived me on this idea. And when I look at some of the women that personally grew me in my life, it's crazy. I can name specific moments where they have been treated unfairly, get paid less. Right? The one that I think is the funniest, and this is why it starts with the millennial leadership, the younger leadership coming in right now that are taking over these large companies. It changes with that. Funny little story when I've seen where women even specifically hold women back because they've had to deal with it. Pay them less because they got paid less when they were in that role. That's messed up. And acknowledging that it exists is the first movement forward. Right? That's my promise. That's what I've done. And I would really love to hear some of y'all's pieces as well, right? So if this has ever happened to you, I don't expect you to put in the comments or anything like that. Message me if you've ever dealt with it, or message me or shoot me a text for some of you that are a little bit closer to me, right? And I can give you some of my insight or because I would love to see where it does come to life, and maybe I might have some great opinions behind it to possibly help specifically the women, right, overcome these situations, because it's not fair, and we're not going to be able to move forward as a community until then, right? Closing piece, right? Some of you might ask, Blake, why are you wearing sunglasses inside your house? Right? And there's a specific lady that opened my eyes up to this conversation, and she loves these sunglasses. So I decided in honor of her, I would wear them during this specific video. But honestly, guys, thank you so much. Please go to my YouTube channel, like it, share it, subscribe, continue leaving feedback. I know you guys will. Very, very supportive in the first one, so thank you so much. I got a couple more ideas moving forward, and like I said earlier, you guys left me so many great ideas I'm excited to go over. But it does take me a little bit to kind of wrap my head around these and make sure my opinions are correct. But thank you so much. Y'all have a good day, all right?